got back from the Amazing Spider-Man 2. As you guys can see, I'm supplying some Spider-Man 2 footage in the background from the game. I played this a bit on the 360, went ahead and bought the next-gen version. You would expect the next-gen version to look good, right? I'm shocked at how bad this game looks on a frickin' Xbox One. You know, next-gen? Guys, this isn't a GameCube game. Give it some next-gen graphics. But I digress. My thoughts on The Amazing Spider-Man 2? Disappointed. I am a strong fan of the first Amazing Spider-Man. I think it is one of the best superhero movies I've ever seen, much better than the Tobey Maguire movies. Andrew Garfield nails Peter Parker. And the costume redesign was awesome. The Lizard was great, Gwen was great, the setting, the characters, everything was just so good. Like, the characters were memorable. It was just overall, a really good movie. Now, the second one, I'm saddened to say, I don't think it was very good. It lacked almost everything that the first one had. Amazing Spider-Man 2 felt very bland, devoid of life. New York was just a set piece. And the only characters I really remember from that film were Spider-Man, Gwen, Electro, and Harry. That's really it. Those are the only characters that, mattered. There were no other characters in that movie. Sure, Aunt May is in it, and she does nothing for the plot. Sure, Norman freaking Osbourne was finally shown, but he was killed off so fast, it made all the build-up to his reveal useless. Sorry guys, Norman is dead. No amazing Rise of Norman Osborn, as they teased in the first Amazing Spider-Man. They made Norman Osborn seem like he was going to be this shadowy background figure, the mysterious Norman Osborn, who pulled strings behind the scenes. But nope, he was killed almost immediately in the beginning of the movie. Okay, great. Okay. A major character in the books, like Norman Osborn, is killed really fast. Great. I really did like Jamie Foxx's Electro. I felt like he and Harry were really the only memorable characters in that whole movie. But even they got silly fast. Electro started out scared of his powers, scared of what he had become, unable to control his abilities, accidentally shocking people, draining energy and not really understanding why he had this hunger for electricity, not understanding what he was seeing. He could feel the electricity burning in his veins. He didn't understand what was going on. And then suddenly, one trip to jail and a breakout later, he has the ability to teleport and enter the electrical grids of New York City and dematerialize. It's just like, what? What? How did he learn all that? And how come he's suddenly so fine with his powers and so used to it and so not freaked out anymore by the fact that he's living electricity? And Harry, he started out as a decent character and suddenly he went absolutely mental. He found out he was dying. He was pretty mad, which is understandable. And he mad at Spider-Man because Spider-Man couldn't help. And then he was kicked out of Oscorp and framed it. And it was like, holy shit, break Electro out of prison and blow up New York City. The changes in the villains were so fast. Their motivations were so unclear. They started out so relatable, too. I truly felt sorry for Electro and Harry. But then when we have Electro teleporting, out of thin air and forming costumes out of nowhere on his body and talking about making the world, draining all the power from the world and, ooh, Spider-Man, you don't know my true power. It just got so silly. It got so silly. And Harry's Green Goblin was probably on screen for 5 minutes. And it was a good Green Goblin. I think it was the best Green Goblin we've seen. Well, it was pretty much the only one next to William Dafoe's Green Goblin, but this was so good, this Green Goblin. It was really good. I wanted to see more. Why did he get beat so fast? And the Rhino? He had even less screen time. He was at the very end of the movie. He wasn't a major villain at all. He was just a, haha, look, it's the Rhino. Credits! No Rhino in that movie. And you know something is wrong when the main characters in the movie are boring. I loved Peter in the first Amazing Spider-Man, but he was annoying in this one. We see Electro stumbling through New York, draining power, and then he begins to jump cut to Peter and Gwen arguing about their relationship. Again. Can I please see what Electro was up to? He was more interesting. And the ridiculous amounts of Sony product placement don't help. We get it, Sony. You guys made the movie. No need to shove your ugly face in my favorite childhood superhero movie. Spider-Man might as well just put the Sony logo on his back instead of the spider. He can be Sony Man. It was long, lacked any real character. I wanted to see more of Peter juggling his powers in normal life, not Peter saving people, breaking up with Gwen, getting back together only to save more people. I wanted story, but there was none. Max Dillon has an accident, becomes Electro, gets pissed that people pay more attention to Spider-Man and wants to drain New York of all power. Oh yeah, and Harry is pissed off because he was fired. And he became a goblin. For 5 minutes. Rhino is at the end. That's the plot. The movie was average. Just average. 5 out of 10? 6 out of 10 maybe? I'm gonna see it again. Maybe the second time will be better. But so far I'm not impressed. Do better next time, please. This Spider-Man universe has so much potential. But I feel like this second movie has stripped all that potential away. Leave your comments below what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later.